Hey guys, good morning if it's morning where you're at. It's almost noon here, and I've really been sleeping so much because my sleep schedule's totally thrown off by work, but that's kind of how life goes. Today's Patch and Chat, which is, yes, this is what we're going to start calling them from now on because I give you Patch and then I chat. It makes sense. Today's little Patch and Chat is going to be the Honor-A-Sis tag. That's a little hard to say without sounding like cyst. So Honor-A-Sis tag, created by the Novel Nana here on YouTube. And there's only 5 questions. It shouldn't take too long, but you can kind of watch me doodle and make mistakes and learn things with this little patch picture here. And I'll tell you a little bit about my fellow book and author tubers who I enjoy and support and are also female because it's, I guess, Women's History Month. I'm catching the end of it, but here we are. So without further ado, question number 1. Who are 5 book or author tubers that you support and watch their videos? I'm going to go with just the top 5 as I scroll through my subscriptions. And I usually am either watching stuff about them writing their own books or them doing book reviews. And the first one is Cordy, aka Stephanie Gillis, who actually tagged me in this. I've watched her videos since she was in Japan doing daily vlogs. Like, that's how we connected. When I went to Japan, we met over there and we've been like friends ever since. So I, without question, will watch all of her videos and read all of her things. The next one is actually a fairly recent channel for me. It's Julian Greystoke. She has put out a book, The Wolf and the Hawk, and very interested to read that as well, but she does really fun read-alongs. I think they're fun, but she did a couple with some indie books that I was like curious about, and now I know I don't want to read them, but her read-alongs are fun. And then other videos, like she has a great personality. I think we would get along really well. Just BT dubs. The next one that I've been watching a lot recently is Kate Kavanaugh. She's working on the Meridian Maps. I guess it's a book series, but she's currently editing the first one. And since I'm in a editing phase right now, I'm gobbling up everything she's doing and just being like, yeah, I do that too, or like, ooh, that's a good idea. So it's been really helpful to be watching her channel. The next one is Natalia Lee. She is an author tuber, but I think now she's definitely more working with the publishing company that she created and her lifestyle vlogs. But she did write several books, and she does have great advice, and she's just an enjoyable person to watch. The next one on my top 5 was Kira May Petty. Mostly, I think I watch her book reviews because they're very, very, very detailed, and I would love for her to like review my book, for better or for worse, I guess. But I believe she's also working on a novel, so she does try to do some like writing challenges. So it's always fun to watch someone and support them doing that as well. All right, so number 2. Who are 5 female authors you have read? Fortunately, my bookshelf over here behind me is like 75% female authors. The number 1 female author that I have read since I was a child in middle school, maybe like 10, 11, 12, till now, still my favorite, is Tamora Pierce, and I will continue to talk about her in every chance that I get because I love her stuff. And she's got several books. I have 3 of her quartets, a duology, and once I finish these, I will look at getting a few more of her books. But I need to actually finish reading these first because that's kind of the rules on my TBR. The next one is Francesca Zeppia, who did Eliza and Her Monsters. This book was recommended to me by Cordy, and I related with it so hard that it gets a front-facing part on my shelf. Like, that Eliza was me in high school, without the romance, unfortunately, I guess. um, so that was great. And let's see, who else? Margaret Rogerson, who wrote Sorcery of Thorns. This was also not quite a direct recommendation, but Cordy had reviewed it in a video, and it sounded something up my alley. It was a fantasy one-shot, and I'm very curious to see how that turned out, and I loved it. Oh my gosh. I needed this book. It's so good. I'll try to go into more of it during my quarter one book reviews. I don't think it's next week. I think it's the week after. But in the next couple of weeks, there will be a quarter one book review video, so keep an eye out for that. Who else do I have on my shelf? I have Kristen Kishore with the Graceling. I have I don't have the fourth book yet, but I have 3 of the books. Definitely liked Graceling the most. But we'll see how this 4th book goes. And of course I have all the Twisted Tales. So they're written by Liz Braswell. I think it's Kim Lee. And Jen Calonita. I think those are the 3. I'm only looking at the spine, so I'm trying to remember whose first name goes to whose last name. But they're all female authors, and I've loved all of the Twisted Tales, so great job, guys. That was definitely more than 5. But moving on. Number 3, a strong female protagonist you like. Hands down, Alana the Lioness from the Lioness Rampant Quartet by Tamora Pierce. From everything that I've read, this was the single story that stood out the most in my mind from reading it as a 12-year-old. And I reread it and I still loved Alana. She is super strong, both physically and she earns that strength. She earns the respect from everybody. She struggles with her magic and everything. And it's just so nice to have a woman pursuing her goals to that extent and read about it, because I really relate to that as well. And I'm currently about to I'm in the last book of the Immortals Quartet, which is the quartet that follows the Alana and the Lioness Quartet. And the main, she always does strong female protagonists. So the one in the Immortals Quartet, Dane, is also very strong. And this is the first time I've read this quartet, so I'm just getting to know her, but I do really like her as well. But I can talk about this forever, so I'm going to stop and go on to number 4. Do you own any female author tube books? I do. Obviously, if you've watched any of my other videos, or recently at least with the Ashport Archives trailer, I do have the 3 currently released Ashport Archives books by Stephanie. And I also recently got the ebook of Song of the Dryad by Natalia Lee. So I haven't read that one yet, but I think it'll be a good read. We'll see. I'll review it when I do get around to it, but I do have those currently. And number 5, name some AuthorTuber books that you want. There's several. I basically have an Amazon book list that as soon as somebody on AuthorTube says, hey, my book's available, I add it so that when I'm able to get books, I can go through and pick them. The ones by female authors, I do have Songs of Autumn by Lauren. I always pronounce her last name wrong, so we're just going to call her Lauren. By Lauren. And Thick as Blood by Winter Canatelli. I think this one's also a duology or trilogy, but I don't know if the other ones are out yet. The Elysian Prophecy by, I think it's Vivian Rice. I haven't watched really many of her videos, except for, I think, the book unboxing maybe. But I definitely wanted to check it out because it's a fantasy, and I want to see what other fantasy writers are doing here. Then obviously I want the book 4 of the Ashport Archives, Give It to Me Now, and Hisvakax, so the Human Society for Creatures and Cryptids, whensoever that comes out. And then, as I mentioned, I wanted The Wolf and the Hawk by Julian Greystoke, and the final one, it was on my list, and I know it's an indie book. she's only done a couple videos on AuthorTube, so she really doesn't have a presence on here at all. But the Red Winter trilogy by Annette Marie definitely sings to the graphic novels that I used to do before, because they were set in Japan and had a similar like mythology. So I definitely want to read those at some point. And before I go any further, that's where I'm going to stop for now. I really don't know who to tag. I don't think I have enough of a consistent following. But sometimes Fee watches my channel. So Fee, if you're watching this and you want to do this, you are tagged. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. Stephanie already did it, so now Lana made it. So I think like my top 3 viewers are already like here. So I'm not gonna tag anybody else just because I don't know who is doing what nowadays. But if you want to do it, you're welcome to do it. You can find the original tag on Novel Nana's channel. And this is the patch picture. The patch picture is done. So that happened while we were drawing this. So April showers, because this is the patch for April. You know, he's super cute, as always. I try to do a different coloring style, as you guys noticed. And there's certain things I like about it, but it is a little difficult getting used to it. It does have the more like children's book illustration look that I was kind of looking for. So I do like that. But yeah, that's the April patch. This was the patch in chat for March. So hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't already, definitely, I mean, again, if you haven't and you like the video, that's kind of the context. If you haven't and you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to me. I'm getting close to 100 subscribers, and that would be nice to celebrate in some sort of way. But first I got to get there, and I need you guys. So, you know, if you do want to see more content or hear more of things I have to say, definitely subscribe. And then check out the links below, because I do have everything on my social media, the Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, as well as my Patreon, which I started this year, and I'm also hoping to grow. So whichever you guys feel like you're interested in, definitely check out the links, and I will talk to you guys again next time. Till then, take care. Bye.